Focus on my family. My newborn niece asleep in my arms doesn't know what you told me the night we met. What you preached from the pulpit of your professorship, my classmates and I silently nodding. Not challenging a new professor during the first class, not going to be the first one tarred and feathered, donning a dunce cap blasted to the back of the room. Not going to be the first to see her GPA shatter because she dared to disagree. And I keep thinking, maybe after class I'll say something, but I don't want to be that girl who makes a big deal out of nothing. Obviously nothing. When it rises in my mind again over a year later, my newborn niece asleep in my arms, perfectly comfortable, perfectly adorable, perfectly oblivious to this echo breaking through my brain. The words that spilled so easily from you, smeared like a slap across my face, left me looking from one classmate to the next, wanting to whisper, did anybody else just feel a high kick to the chest? Was that just me? You were teaching us to lobby with integrity. You said some issues you simply could not get behind, and you had to put your peace of mind, your ability to sleep at night, having done right by your conscience first. I nodded, thinking this far from the worst advice I'd heard. Then you elaborated, offered an example to help drive home the point. You said, for instance, I don't think foster children should be placed with gays and lesbians. It was an issue over which you'd risk your job. The first night I met you, in a room full of my peers, you said you'd willingly jeopardize your position, risk losing status, security, pay, for the mere opportunity to take away something you have no right to make me lose. You'd choose the unemployment paycheck you've gone to Washington to protect over my ability to apply for adoption rights and not be automatically rejected, because I didn't check the straight box on that just a formality question about the direction of my relational affection. You would quit before you'd see someone like me hold a baby in her arms as anybody closer to her own blood than a niece. In a few weeks, months, years, it will be impossible to hold this child and not know she has my brother's hair, his nose. She'll eat Mexican food like she was born below the border. Spicy will be to her taste. She'll give her younger siblings nonsense nicknames just the way he did. And her entire microcosmic universe will unanimously confirm how she is through and through her daddy's girl. My niece already runs like an axis through my brother's world. Gravity wraps him around each one of this girl's fingers, and I linger on the outskirts like a moon. Remembering your words at the absolute worst time, remembering how an educated person in a top position in my field told me she believed I had no right to anything resembling this family. Tell me how you spew something like that at me, and I still spend 8 weeks as your star student, even though I'm on another planet, even though I'm alien to you entirely, and you don't want to see me with anything resembling the same rights as all these humans whom you serve. Tell me how many children you have and how you proved yourself deserving, because honestly, the fact that I consistently love other women doesn't strike me as the backward part of this equation. And when you say, in humorous defense against the opposition no one raises, it's not as if I don't have things in common with the other side. We both agree we need more foster parents, we just don't see eye to eye on who should qualify. I think, you're right. Maybe it's not a given that everyone has it in them to raise children. Maybe we need to more rigorously inspect potential parents so we can deflect all the unsavory types. You're right. We don't see eye to eye, because I'd instate mandatory screenings to weed out homophobia. I'd incorporate into parenting classes programs on dismantling prejudice. My lesbian identity strikes me as significantly less of a threat than your inability to accept it, to recognize that in my arms my niece wakes to stare up at me, enthralled to see me staring back, wholly melted by her, overwhelmed. She basks in herself as miracle, a truth reflected back at her by my eyes, mine. My arms to her are only warmth, only steady, ready to hold, rock, feed, play, protect as needed. And if she, at 10 days old, can understand my love, what right do you maintain to take away my place as parent because in 40-some-odd years you haven't managed to comprehend what an infant knows? No. Don't think for a second that I'll let this happen. Let your closed mind close doors that could lead to me heading a nuclear family like that granted to my brother without question. Remember this, star student. Expect to see me given your position the next time you risk it for your ignorance. Expect to see me marching on Washington, lobbying the full-formed picture of integrity, my daughter and my son beside me as we fight for our right to be family.